Hello and welcome. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now with me, Snehisha, and with me today is Shrishti Sharma. Now this is a show where we'll take you through all the stocks that are abuzz in today's trading session on the back of news flows and technicals. But before that, Shrishti, let's take a look at what the markets are doing. Stellar moves coming in for both indices today at the highest point of the trading session today also as well.
Well, yes, a cheer across markets, Snehi, because if we see the Nifty has surpassed the 22,400 mark as well and sustaining the up move since the start of the day. And other than that, Bank Nifty is also holding a gains of 40 points rather, and the broader markets are also very supportive today. The Bajaj Trends is definitely cheering up the rally. Bajaj Finserv as well as Bajaj Finance having a gain of more than 4.5% and 5% in today's trading session. And all these auto counters, be it Eicher Motors, M&M, Hero MotoCorp, they are also seeing substantial gains in today's trading session. So as the financial year ends, Snehi, it's expected that it is looking that it's a good end at least. And other than that, if we look at today is important as well. So today is the monthly options expiry as well. So a lot of moves on that front as well, Snehi.
Well, absolutely stellar moves for the market, but how do we make sense of what's buzzing and how to look at the technicals? For that, we're being joined by Aditya Agarwala, Head of Research and Investments of Invest for Edu on the technical side, and from our research team today we are being joined by Ashesha as well as Gaurav. A very good afternoon to all of you and thanks so much for taking the time out and joining us today. But with that, let me kickstart the show and talk about the top Nifty gainers today, Bajaj Finance as well as Bajaj Finserv. Both of those stocks were up 4% today as of now. Also Bajaj Finserv up 5% as we speak. And Bajaj Housing Finance, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Bajaj Finance, has been classified as an upper layer NBFC as per the scale-based regulations. And so as per RBI's norms, it has to be listed within the next 3 years of this notification now, which is by September 2025. Now, as per news and brokerage reports, Bajaj Housing Finance has initiated preliminary talks with several investment banks about a potential IPO or initial public offering at a valuation of around $9 to $10 billion. And on the back of this, both of these stocks are doing pretty well today. Now, the valuations imply a roughly 26 times FY26 forward price to earnings at that 9.5 billion valuation for the housing finance subsidiary, and this also represents a premium to other large housing finance peers, but it would also be effective for the superior growth profile of the company, healthy asset quality and improving return profile. The listing of Bajaj Housing could place a holding company discount of 15% on Bajaj Finance. However, it would also potentially remove a medium-term overhang of a bank conversion by creating two listed NBFCs. So on the back of this positive news flow, both of these stocks, Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv, are up between 4 and 5% in today's trading session.
So that was indeed a detailed explainer why these Bajaj Twins are a buzz today. But I'm sure that you are also tracking this counter, Aditya, on the technical front. No stopping since the start of the day. But which are the next prizes that we should be looking out for?
Good afternoon. Thanks for the show. I believe that's a good breakout that we are seeing on the chart, Srishti, from a consolidation pattern, and look at the volumes on extremely heavy volumes. So that is a confirmation that Bajaj Finserv has more legs on the upside, and at current levels also, if somebody is missed out on the opportunity, can actually latch onto the stock, can see levels of 1750 on the upside for Bajaj Finserv. And once it crosses 1750, I believe 1800 can also be seen on the chart setup. If we talk about Bajaj Finance, that too is also looking strong on the charts, but between the two, probably I will stick my neck out and play a Bajaj Finserv. The technical indicators there also are suggesting the strong momentum that we are seeing in the stock today is likely to continue in the coming trading sessions as well. So this is one stock, Shrishti, that I would like to add in the portfolio, maybe at least for a quarter or so, and see how the stock moves, because I think stock can easily give you a 10-15% kind of an up move in the next 1 to 2 quarters.
Well, all right, 15% up move for the next 1 or 2 quarters. That's the word coming in from Aditya on Bajaj Finance. Thanks for that view. But viewers, with that, we'll slip into a very short break on this edition of Market Fatafat. We'll be right back with more buzzing stocks on the other side.
Welcome back to Market Fatafat, a show where we highlight all the buzzing counters, either on the back of the news flow or on the back of the technicals. And the next counter we put the spotlight on is the pharma major Sun Pharma, which has seen no stopping since the start of the year itself, and today as well. The stock is holding on to the gains of 1% as of now, and that's on the back of HSBC note coming in, where they do maintain their buy rating but have gone ahead and hiked the target price to 1,790 rupees now versus 1,550 rupees earlier, where they are saying that the healthy outlook for this specialty portfolio is one of the key triggers for the company. The growth runway should continue on the back of continued strong demand for their products, and there are a lot of filings that are expected in the first half of calendar year 24, and the FDA approval of the few of the other drugs are also the key catalyst that they are looking forward to, and they are positive on that front as well. And lastly, they assume notable gains from G-Revlimid in the March quarter as well. G-Revlimid is one of the drugs wherein Dr. Reddy's also has a good share, but now HSBC feels that G-Revlimid could do better for Sun Pharma, and that's why they are positive on this counter, and the stock is also holding on to the gains of 1% as of now.
Alright, well, let's get a move on then and talk about technicals. And Aditya, I'm going to come to you for V-Guard. Now, this stock has done quite well for itself in the last 3 months, also 37% up. So what's your view going ahead? Further upside is what you're penciling in?
Absolutely, and I believe after the recent correction that the stock posted, it tested the neckline of that breakout, consolidation breakout that it had witnessed last month, and now it has resumed its uptrend on good volume. So I believe one should definitely latch onto the stock at current levels. Look for a target in excess of 350. I think a stock can easily test levels of 375 to 400 in the near term. Plus, if I take a look at the volumes, what is interesting to see is that the correction didn't see any volumes, but on the way up, I see good volume build up in the stock. So that is a confirmation of the strong uptrend which is prevailing in the stock. Along with that, if I plot a MACD, we have seen a crossover of the trigger line. So everything is looks set for the stock to test levels of at least 375 to 400 on the upside, with a good support on the downside at 310. Looks like a good trade to take.
Alright, that's about V-Guard, but moving on then, and Gaurav, coming to you to have your take on Aegis Logistics. This counter is on the roll today.
Well, yes. Talking about Aegis Logistics now, IIFL initiated with buy rating with a target price of 500 rupees on this company. So what has happened is that if we look at IIFL's note, first they have highlighted is that the business model. So company basically set up liquid and gas terminals at the lowest cost. Company also has strategic locations and they offer quality of services which leads to attractive ROC for the business. Talking about the growth capacities, also company is growing very aggressively, and that is why we have seen the earnings CAGR of more than 20% in the past years as well. And if we talk about the governance standards, also company has a very strong management, and company also has a partnership with companies like Vopak and Itochu, which actually helps them for a strategic partnership for their growth. And after that, if we talk about the valuations of the business, they are actually trading at 19 times the FY26 P ratio, which is actually one standard deviation below the historical levels. And that is why we are seeing some kind of bullish note coming up from IIFL, and where they have given a target price of 500 rupees per share. And if you look at the stock performance also, it has gone up almost 10% in days trade as well, days trade only. So all in all, that is why Aegis Logistics is the company we should definitely keep an eye on.
Alright, Gaurav, thanks so much for taking us through that. But Aditya, I'm going to come back to you and let's talk about V-Mart. What are you penciling in on the charts? What are the kind of price levels that you are spotting?
I believe this is a good time to look at the stock, look at how the likes of similar stocks in the same sector have outperformed recently. I believe this is time to look at V-Mart as well. Offers a good risk to reward. It's a low-hanging fruit at current levels. If I go ahead and buy the stock at current levels, maybe I look for a target of 2550 to about 2600 on the upside, which is a decent upside from current levels. Another downside, 2000 is a very strong support for the stock. Along with that, RSI is also inching inside the bull territory now, which is a confirmation that there is a trend reversal which is coming out for the stock. So overall, it looks like the stock is ready for a big up move on the upside, and it's the right time to actually latch onto the stock at current levels with a good support at 2000. Look for a target of at least 2550 to 2600 on the upside. More of a positional trade rather than a weak trade.
Alright, that's about V-Mart, but Ashesha, coming to you, tell us more about VIP. The company did come out with the future growth outlook. Why is the street so excited about it?
Well, yes, very positive outlook for the next couple of years, and hence the stock is soaring in trade today, 13.5% higher as we speak. So new CEO Neetu Kashmiramka, who is the erstwhile CFO and has now taken over as the CEO, laid out company's strategy for the next couple of years, which is directed towards improving supply chain
dynamics of the company, new product launches which will be geared towards premiumization and improving ASP. Apart from this, they've also given some financial parameters to watch out for the next couple of years. They say that they see 15 to 20% growth over the next 5 years. They aim to return to double-digit growth rate from the fourth quarter of FY24, and they will start regaining their lost market share from the first half of FY25. They also might work towards adding more categories, like adding more accessories, and they aim to bring EBITDA margins to 15% by second half of FY25, followed by 18% in the medium term and 20% in the long term. So very positive outlook which has come in from the management. Commentary is quite positive. They aim to grow their business along with margin and market share expansion. The stock on the back of this commentary is gaining nearly 14% higher as we speak.
All right, Ashesha, thanks so much for taking us through that. VIB holding up smartly in today's trading session. But Aditya, let's talk technicals once more. And Tata Communications has made it to your radar. So rather tempered moves when you look at it from a 1 month or a 6 month basis. But intraday, the stock is doing pretty well, up 2%. So what's your view here? What are you watching out for?
Interesting looking chart setup, to be honest. And if you take a look at the recent price structure, stock has been actually making higher highs, higher lows, and the recent correction did take support at the previous peak. So that is a very strong sign that the stock has moved higher, and there is a trend reversal in the stock that we are witnessing. So at current levels, definitely it takes the list in the buyer's recommendation, and at current levels one can definitely look at adding onto the stock in your portfolio, maybe even for a trading bet at current levels for a target of 2170 to about 2250 on the upside, with a good support on the downside at 1950, and there's a good volume build-up also that I see in today's up move. So that suggests that this up move which started today is likely to continue in the coming week as well.
Alright, so that's the technical check on Tata Communications. But with this, viewers, it's once again time to take a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more.
Hi there, welcome back. You're still watching Market Fatafat on ET now. Well, some news flow on the Adani pact then. Kutch Copper, which is an Adani Enterprises subsidiary, has commissioned the first unit of its greenfield copper refinery at Mundra. The company has dispatched the maiden batch of cathodes to customers. This move marks the Adani portfolio debut in the metal industry. The successful progress of the greenfield unit showcases the group's ability to plan and execute large-scale projects. The company will be investing nearly $1.2 billion to set up a copper smelter with 0.5 MTPA capacity in the first phase. On completion of the second phase, they will add a similar capacity. Kutch Copper with 1 MTPA will be the world's largest single location custom shelter. But with that, Shrishti, take us through what's happening with the auto pack. Why have you picked up these stocks today?
Well, yes, all these counters are buzzing as well as in focus on the back of the auto sales data. It's the last trading day of the month, and for the month of March we are expecting a good set of numbers across the board, and this time clearly the two-wheeler segment, the tractor segment as well as the commercial vehicle segment on a month-on-month basis are expected to do better, while for the passenger vehicle segment we are expecting the growth momentum to continue. No substantial change when it comes to the month-on-month numbers. So let's talk numbers then quickly, because firstly from Maruti Suzuki, Tata Motors as well as M&M, we are not expecting any sort of a change on a month-on-month basis, but yes, there will be a double-digit growth when it comes to the YOY comparison from the commercial vehicle segment, because do remember on a YOY basis there will be a decline, because same month last year there was the OBD2 norm transition, so the base was quite high. But if we look at the growth on a month-on-month basis, then there will be a growth of 20 to 40% is what we are estimating. From the two-wheeler segment, the demand on ground continues to be robust, as well as the rural and the urban markets. Even the export markets are supportive. So Bajaj Auto, TVS Motors, Eicher Motors, Hero MotoCorp, they're expected to post a single-digit growth when it comes to the month-on-month comparison. And lastly, from the tractor sales, though on ground the fundamental and the change in the demand environment, there's no substantial change out there, but all these companies could post a growth of 20 to 30% on a month-on-month basis when it comes to Escorts as well as eminent tractors. So on the back of that excitement, all these counters are buzzing in trade.
Well, absolutely, Shrishti. Quite the detailed explanation. Thanks so much for that. But Aditya, let's keep it with the auto pack, and let's talk about two-wheeler maker Hero Moto. In the last 6 months, stock has gone up 50%. Quite a smart move coming in. Are you penciling any more acceleration when it comes to this stock?
Oh yes, absolutely, and I believe after a good consolidation that the stock posted in the last couple of months, it's getting up for the next leg of up move, and at current levels, definitely takes the list for a buy. At current levels, if you buy, I'm looking for a target of 5,000, and in excess of 5,000 if you hold on to it for at least a month or so. 5,100 looks also possible on the cards with a good support on the downside at 46.50. Along with that, just look at the way the volumes spike up the moment stock shows an uptick. So that tells that the buyers are still present in the stock and they're holding on to the long positions. Even the RSI and the MACD are supporting the bullish views. They have crossed their trigger lines. So all in all, it's a thumbs up from my side as far as Hero Moto is concerned, and I believe 5,000 to 5,100 should be on cards very soon.
Alright, we'll be watching out for those levels on Hero Motor. But with that, let me also talk about why Mahindra Life is up and away and buzzing in today's trading session. It's on the back of a land parcel acquisition that the company has gone ahead and done today. They have bought 2 acres of land in Whitefield, which is in East Bengaluru, and the land is estimated to have a developable potential of 0.2 million square feet or 2 lakh square feet of saleable area. The gross development value is expected to be roughly around 225 crore rupees, and the land will primarily comprise of mid-premium residential apartments. This land plot also offers connectivity to tech parks and commercial offices. Remember, now this comes shortly after the company had already acquired another land parcel of 9.4 acres earlier this month in the same area of Whitefield in Bangalore. So, well, on the back of this land parcel acquisition and the revenue potential that the company is spotting on it and the GDV that they are spotting, the stock is up 3.5% as we speak.
All right, that's the day coming in on Mahindra Life Spaces. But with this, would like to thank Aditya and both of our researchers today for joining us and highlighting all the counters that are buzzing in trade right now. Thank you so much, Ashesha and Gaurav and Aditya as well for joining us on the show. But with this, viewers, it's time to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.